That's what I wanted you to do. Just treat the Kegman like Indiana Jones or something. Just slot him into any adventure and go with it.
So Hingman, you see, once he ventured out early from Hingstonia, he traveled through a great forest. Many animals, many bandits, and many trials.
Those do
Whether
have the forest.
Is exactly survival, something he never had to deal with before. Yet, through his travels, he became one with nature. In that it seemed to become second nature to
I imagine you just kind of like giggle at yourself actually while you're recounting that.
Slowly blink.
to communicate with to communicate with those around him. That's why I'm so interested in learning to communicate with all these things, right?
Yeah,
it's very true.
I've heard stories that I said, like I said, the story. Thought, if I can talk to many things, I too can be able to get some of this insight and knowledge and wisdom that my boy Hingman had. In his journeys, he befriended a friendly raccoon along his way.
This blew my mind.
Yes,
this wasn't George Clooney by chance.
No, but it could have been his grandfather. I don't know.
There's some real
My gosh.
culture going on right.
Exactly, it's pottery, man. And
Another slow blink.
Yeah, I'm like holding back spit.
Old Max Pitt. One day, him and his friendly raccoon came across a cave. They went in said cave.
That's not a raccoon.
And when they went in said cave, an earthquake happened. And they got shut in to this cave. They traveled deep and they saw many writings on the wall.
Really?
Many writings, none of which they could decipher. Right? But they knew he's like, maybe we can't get out of here. That's what he's saying in that picture right there. And as they traveled deeper, they noticed some light emanating from deep in the cave.
Inside the cave.
In the cave.
Oof.
There's a raccoon, Wilson.
Do tell.
As they went deeper into this cave, the light became stronger. And there became a low hum. Like the sound of...
Like a
Yes.
Or is it like a
No, it's low hum. Low hum.
Is it like a...
Okay.
And there was... When they came, it looked like something had been blasted away. There had been some carnage, some type of
Battle?
battle, or perhaps excavation. Magically used excavation.
I see.
And they noticed a light coming from the ground. The light, they finally found it. It was coming from the ground.
Out of the ground.
Out of the ground. Very strange.
Right.
Very strange indeed. And in the center of this light was a great orb.
Ooh.
An orb with it kind of looked like it was holding the universe in it. Right? Stars, galaxies.
Orion's belt.
Yes.
Black.
Exactly.
That's what I was imagining, yeah.
But big.
Like a bowling ball.
Yes. Orion's bowling ball.
Whatever bowling is.
And
he does like to bowl.
and
Come on. Hey, Sean. I see Wainwright's eyes kind of glazing over as if he's like imagining totally unrelated things. And I say, Wainwright, focus.
I'm listening.
Go on.
They go as they approach said orb, which is conveniently sitting in a jutted out rock piece.
The excavation.
Yes.
Right.
so perfect in this place. It seems as even the rock has kind of inexplicably grown around it a little bit.
Wow.
And as we get closer, or as they get closer, his raccoon buddy gets a little bit too interested, too curious.
Yeah, as they tend to do that.
Raccoons,
And he
they
scrambles
do seem curious.
across the field of light.
Wow.
And as he does so,
What happened?
he burns away.
No!
Oh, are you kidding?
And though it was glanced over, they had many good times together. They were good friends. It's just not important to the story.
Right.
So
Still.
Kegman was deeply hurt, and very, very, some would say, on the edge of a tantrum, because of his frustration and guilt over what happened to his furry little friend. So, what he did was he took out his legendary lute, which was crafted from him not just by a luthier, but as well to withstand his journeys.
Right.
He took it to a blacksmith as well,
Ooh.
and it was coated on the bottom
With
with metal.
what kind of metal? Was it like semi-precious? What techniques did they use?
That is not explained. They don't get into specifics really.
Well, they don't want to use. All right.
Maybe you'll get what it is made of by what he does with it next.
Okay. Go on.
He gets so frustrated. He takes his lute and swings it bottom side towards, like swinging, right? Not string side. That's stupid.
No, right.
The reinforced side. And it crosses the field of light, yet does not burn. And strikes the orb, which then the grown rock stuff around it crumbles and it falls out and rolls. And at that moment, the humming stops. And the light fades. So, he goes and picks up the orb. And as he does, the orb glows with a great fuchsia aura. Fuchsia.
Ooh.
That's a color.
It's it is. It's a pretty color.
And the light grows and grows until it envelops him. He cannot see but fuchsia light. And when it disappears, he is halfway across the continent.
Wow.
Whoa.
Not knowing why or how.
What?
Exactly.
That is quite an adventure.
Yeah.
And this was just one of his tales.
One of many. That's not even the best one. That's just the one that we tell a bunch.
Wow. I mean, also, nice job. yeah, that was good.
Hats off to you, dude. That was great.
Yeah, that was really good.
Slowly but surely it was coming
I am genuinely impressed. I'm like, wow.
All from memory.
So,
from him. That never
so
existed.
this,
Yes.
I mean, this sounds like Kegman was quite the individual. And I mean,
Resourceful.
well, would you say that?
Unwittingly resourceful.
Do you think that perhaps this might have been the catalyst of him potentially delving into things like?
He was
it
tampering
could.
with some crazy magic.
I mean, it sounds like
It could because eventually, years later, we stop hearing about him.
really.
He disappears. We don't know where he is.
And I'm assuming that people went out looking for him. I mean, it's
Well, there's many, mayhaps a few search parties,
right.
but there was definitely many people who tried to mimic and retrace his footsteps. But due to the nature of of stories passed down through song.
Things get lost.
Exactly. Therefore, people got lost. Many
Yeah.
didn't return. Many returned almost immediately because they were horribly ill prepared to survive out in the wild on their own.
It sounds like it. I mean, if things like that occurred.
I'm the first in many years to make it out of there, and
I have a newfound respect for you. I will be honest. You certainly.
it was
have
by no skill of my own. It was just I magicked into it essentially. It happened.
quite some magic indeed. Well,
Magic of luck. Right place at the right time,
Well,
or wrong place at the right time. Depends on which.
I suppose it remains to be seen. But
Yes.
well, I guess travel back to Hearthmount, reconvene with Wainward's compatriots, and maybe perhaps do a little research of our own, see if the guild has any knowledge of this Kegman.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like he's a legendary figure, not just in Hingstonia, but
Right.
in the world proper.
Which I had no idea.
Really?
It's, we're a pretty isolated little island,
I see.
We don't get too many outsiders, and it's
We will make our journey there
Is it
eventually.
not like a landmark.
is it
It's a cheating
like not
contest.
allowed for outsiders to visit Hingstonia?
Oh no, it's allowed. It's just
Doesn't
people
happen?
people know. They're just like, this is where we get chickens from. Like it's.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, you get your chickens imported?
Oh, wow.
No, we are the chicken exporters
Oh.
Wow.
to the region.
Maybe we should ask. Oh,
You make a killing.
You know what? Oh man, we could have asked Gregory. I mean, he was importing chickens, I assume.
Yeah.
Well,
Arbisdale's not too terribly far away. Well, it's
Well-
far, but it's not.
I mean, I feel like we maybe tapped that resource of immediate information.
I'm not going back to Arbor's.
No.
Also-
we could have completely fucked Arbisdale over. So.
Yeah,
I kinda
I
like
feel like
check
we almost need
who's
to like
to stay.
self-quarantine ourselves at the moment just to kind of maybe run
can
this
send- we
knowledge
can
out
send
of our minds,
message.
distracted with
Send it.
some other details. But
True.
thank you for the information. It was very insightful.
That's.
I
Excellent.
slapped the book, the tome, shut.
He is why you met me. He
Well,
was my inspiration.
we'll have to thank him, I guess, if we ever meet him.
We're fine, dude. If we find him, I'm gonna fucking pee my pants and be like fucking full on erect at the same time.
Like with Sarantis.
Pretty much.
You were erect?
Not for that. That's without the pretty much.
Well, have you perhaps garnered all the information you can from here?
I believe so. I'm thinking that Kegman is a great lead.
Indeed. It sounds like he's the next leg of our investigation.
Indeed.
But I do feel like a little homecoming might be in need. I don't know about the rest of you, but I could really use a bed and a shower.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
I'm a rousy little boy.
Wilfred was able to bring some funds from back home as well.
I also greatly miss my forge. Like
You left
I
money there,
really need
kid.
to hammer thing. I need to make something.
That was just
Like
I have a few things I could work on too.
Ooh. Also,
what's up?
we got to make sure that those trainees properly delivered our
Wine.
important cargo.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Ben, I assume traveling back is of no small. I suppose it's a small thing for you to travel back. I don't suppose we'd be able to part company with you for the time being.
You boys do what you need to do. I will make my way back to Arbisdale, however I need to do it.
Well, thank you. This has been quite a experience.
Yes.
Very insightful.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Give him a hearty handshake, I guess, and
Yep, he clasps your forearm and just nice firm grip, gives it a good shake. Good luck to you all, and be well.
take it easy on the the
Boom
liquor,
shine?
the boom shine. I mean, I'm speaking from personal experience, but yeah, it seems pretty heavy.
Oh well, trip here was just a bit of fun, but I do have my I guess you can call it resistances.
That's not fun.
Oh,
It comes with
what's the fun in
the
that?
monk training.
Drink enough of it.
So this is just like a singular tower, right? No, nothing around it.
No, like there is one tower that the one that Serantis was in that's taller than the other buildings, but this is just like a mass of different heights and styles and sizes of buildings that have been kind of like cobbled together into one giant structure.
Last question, Ben. Is there anybody here that perhaps sells things of, say, an arcane nature, or do you get merchants here at all? It seems unlikely, but
Well, what are you looking for?
I'm not sure. I mean, it seems like with
Well, what
close
sort of
proximity to
arcane tools would you be looking for?
what do you say?
Arcane tools?
Well, I mean, with good Serentus being in such close proximity, I would imagine purveyors of magical items or maybe even materials would visit occasionally. I imagine research requires materials and maybe even something of that sort.
Well, what are you looking for, so I know what kind of merchant to bring?
Oh, I really, I was just kind of asking. I guess I really didn't have anything in particular in mind. I was just kind of thinking like, I don't want to like peek at that list like, oh, I want this person.
Okay, well, give me a moment and I'll roll up something for you, and then
Oh,
we'll go
if
from there.
you don't have anything, that's fine. I mean, I was just like, hey, what's going on?
No, this is totally fine. I'm down with it, dude. I always like you guys' little shopping adventures. They're always fun.
It's
So,
the
give me just a
clothing
moment.
shop guy is here, and he's just like, oh no, you. He's like, no, please.
What?
Oh, I was just like thinking like, oh god, what if that clothing guy is here? Like we happen to like follow him to.
He sees Nox and just like drops what he's holding and runs.
I'm back.
Round 2.
The old fist in the other hand, just like slapping in there a couple times. Like, yeah.
Sup, nerd? Where's your lunch money? I want that thing. It's like, yeah, I heard you got a beret. Another one.
I hear you got a wizard's hat that isn't stupid.
Yeah, you dumb idiot.
You holding out on me?
You big stupid idiot.
Fucking nerd.
Fucking nerd. God damn it.
Like, the guy's name was like,
I forget.
yeah,
Oh, damn it.
it was pretty generic.
I didn't write it down. I don't think.
It's like Frederick or
I was
something.
writing shit down.
Guess what? When you guys make me come up with names on the spot, I don't write them down most of the time either. Sometimes I do, but that guy, I did not write down his name.
Yeah,
I always ask for names.
Yeah.
I know you do. I appreciate that. Keeps me on my toes.
I mean, I did get the name of the. I got the name of Germ,
Oh,
the
yeah.
brewer.
I remember him.
Yeah, that was
Jim
that.
Brewer.
Yeah, Jim Brewer. The brewer.
Jim the Brewer.
Ooh, maybe we could use my brewer's tools and we could try and make our own like Boomshine 2.0.
Maybe.
Nice source of income.
That
Well,
or a volatile fucking mixture.
Yeah.
Nox does have a bunch of ingredients as he's been collecting.
I do.
That's right.
I got a bunch of plants.
Got a mad scientist, some shit.
I got a bunch of stuff that I probably could use my arcane lab to kind of do stuff.
True, very true. And while I don't have a lot of rare materials, I mean, I do have silver and dark wood, potentially making something for you.
True.
Albeit I'm not quite sure what at the moment, but if you think of something, we could maybe
cobble it together.
Yeah. In your story, as you're doing this thing, Wilson, in your
Go right ahead.
in your story, was there any details about who might have made that loot of his? I mean, it seems like if I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but if we're to put you on a pedestal of equal height or greater than Kegman, the man needs a proper instrument.
That's true.
And I'm no musician by any right, but
Right.
I do fancy myself a craftsman of the highest order.
Indeed.
I mean, it sounds like for such a legendary character, such a legendary item, right?
Story behind it.
Right. Well,
That's true. I may or may not have a little notebook of stories that I may have to sift through. I could get back to you on it.
we'll research it later. I mean, it sounds like we'll have some time on our hands when we get back to Hearthmount, but
Most definitely.
I feel we must pale this Kegman legacy with that of Hingman Madud.
Exactly.
So, as you guys are having your chats and everything, you then just remember to ask Ben, "Oh, yeah, are there any places I can get this kind of stuff?" And he just says, "I think that we have a couple of traveling merchants visiting right now. If you like to follow me." So he starts taking you down a few more sets of stairs till you get to like an open courtyard type of place that is surrounded by more of these buildings. Just the roof is gone, and it's like an open palisade kind of a thing in the middle. And there's a couple of guys who have just set out their wares. There's only there's only 3 of them. They don't get many people out here, but when they do, it's few and far between, kind of.
Right.
Quite.
Can we see what they're selling?
Yes! One of them seems to be selling little mechanical contraptions and knickknacks. The other one is selling religious idols and blessings. And the third guy seems to have a buttload of weapons.
Weapons, you say? I mean, it sounds like all 3 of them. I'm kind of like looking at each one, and I'm like, shit. I guess we'll look at the weapons first.
He's like a kid in a candy store right now.
Kind of, yeah. Well, actually, no. Knowing me, I'd see if it's like mechanical things, I'd gravitate to that because that's some crafty shit that I just gotta see. Weapons are old hat.
So you stroll on over to that purveyor of goods, and you notice that this is a dwarf. The other guy's a dwarf. So is the other guy. They're all dwarves. All 3 of these merchants. 2 males and a female. And you're striding on up to one of the males right now, who's just got a big bushy head of blonde hair that is tied back into a long ponytail that hangs down to all the middle of his back. And he's got, obviously the requisite giant mustache and beard of a dwarf. And he sees you approaching and he just says, finally a customer! It's been a bit quiet around here. All these people doing research. No time to buy things.
Well, you certainly garnered my interest. What, pray tell, do you have for sale?
He looks around, like, making sure that this is on the down low, as if there's anybody else here who's going to give a shit what he says. I've got my best goods with me. I thought that might tempt some of these researchers to buy some, but no one's bought anything as of yet. And he just kind of he's talking to you like you two are like plotting like a murder right now, and he's got his arm around you, even though he's so much shorter than you. He's like come over to you, put his arm around you, and pulled you down into this, like, you two are like co-conspirators, and he's bringing you inside of a tent, and he's just like, the things I've got to show you, my boy. He brings you inside.
I kind of like have a puzzled look on my face with that last little line, but I'm just like, okay, yes, please lead the way. And I kind of look at the other guys and I'm like, throwing up the thumbs. I follow him in.
So he brings you inside of the tent, and in the tent you can see a few different couple of small tables are set up on either side of the tent lengthwise, so you can just kind of walk up and down this one central little aisle and look at both of the tables that he has set up. On one table are small, kind of more handheld things. There is a clockwork dragon, a clockwork mount, a clockwork songbird, a few bundles of dynamite, a small keg of gunpowder. It's about the size of like a hogshead worth. Pocket watch and tinker's tools. That's all on one of the tables. What?
Oh, nothing. I thought you were going the Victor route.
No. Nope.
Okay. It was uncritical.
And then on the other table,
Hilarious.
oh, you are salivating when you turn and look at that other table. He's got a miniature, but when you go over and you look at it and you pick it up, he says, "Oh, that catch your eye, eh? Now that's just a representation. The real thing was much bigger." And he gives you a wink. And what you have in your hand is a little miniature of a clockwork rocket sled.
I am enamored by this.
So it's basically like a hoverboard from Back to the Future, where it's something that you can get on top of, and it moves 60 feet per round in one direction for 1 minute. You get on this thing, and it's just go in one direction.
I'm just like looking at it. I'm like, whoa.
Now, he's also got a couple of other things set up on that table. He's got a large book that isn't bound in leather, it's bound in stone.
What is that?
That, my boy, is a manual of golems. If you've got the capabilities, build yourself a mighty companion out of that.
What is the going rate for that?
25,000 gold pieces. Well, which he says with a big old smile on his face.
That's a bit steep.
You know, I think I already have one of those.
I just remembered. That one was at home already.
I'll double check, but I think maybe, yeah. I think maybe I have one of those. So, yeah, sorry. But what's the clockwork dragon look like?
There's more things on that second table.
Oh, yeah, sure. Absolutely.
There is a pair of boots that is sitting at one end of the table. And from where you're standing, it looks like just an innocuous pair of boots. But from the other two pieces on this table, you kind of feel like there's something more to them. So you walk over and just kind of pick one up and are looking it over. And it looks just like a simple, normal leather boot.
His name was Ronald.
Anything particular about these?
My boy, those are winged boots.
Women's boots?
Winged.
Winged. Yes.
I'll have to look up exactly what they do. I don't think they give you outright flight, but I think they do give you certain levitation capabilities. Let me look.
Well, the hover boots I know great.
And the other two things on the table?
They have wings on them.
Were the other two that I had mentioned. They were the miniature of the rocket sled, like representing that he has a fucking rocket sled available for sale, as well as the manual of golems. So it's the boots, the manual of golems, and the sled that he has available. On that second table, the Clockwork Dragon is just a small, like, clockwork mechanical depiction of a dragon that is standing in a posture similar to what Serantis was like when she was standing in front of you, where like just 4 feet in front of it, hind legs behind it, with its tail kind of arcing back behind it, and it's just very kind of like regal dragon position. And it can actually breathe fire and set things on fire. So it's like the size of like a it's about as tall as like a Bionicle, which is specific, I know, but that's like exactly the size that I want this thing to be. And the flame that it produces only comes out about 4 or 5 inches, but it is like a solid jet of fire. So it's basically like a very powerful blowtorch lighter.